Before I start this video, this is the finished product if that's all you came to see. The 1.5-inch spacers installed. If you want to see how I did it before, stick around. And the official start of this video, this is just a prelude. We'll start in about 20 seconds. Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's been a long time since I've made a video. Just been really busy, have a lot of projects coming along, a few GTRs and other stuff. But in this video, we'll be installing some spacers. This is long overdue on my 2021 Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro. Now you may be wondering, why would you install spacers? They don't really do anything. Yeah, functionality wise, they don't really do much unless you actually need the clearance on your body. You know, if you get some bigger tires or different set of wheels, so you have to clear your upper control arm or whatever you need to clear. But they do make the car look much better, in my opinion, more aggressive, especially with the stock tires that come on this Sequoia. I really feel like, especially from the back, it doesn't look aggressive. You got this big old body, and I've driven behind this Sequoia before, and I'm just like, these, like, just look so, look at that. This looks so ugly. The wheels are all inside and whatever. Are they dangerous? I don't think they're that bad, but anyways, I'm gonna install them and I wanna show you a before and after. So let's get right to it. I went with the 1.5-inch spacer all around. A little aggressive, not too aggressive. It's not like a 2-inch spacer. It was about 115 bucks for the set. These are 6061 T6 forged aluminum, so they are the stronger type of spacer. Obviously, with the car being over 6,000 pound gross weight, you'll need that. What I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna install it on one side, and then we're gonna compare the factory stick out to the stick out with the aftermarket spacer. I was gonna measure it, but honestly, I'm just adding 1.5, so it's not really, no need to measure it. But you can see right now when I'm flush with the back of this vehicle, let me zoom out a little bit. You can't even see the tire. I would say it's about an inch or two tucked in the back and the front. Not as bad in the front. The front does stick out quite a bit more, but it's still about, say, about half an inch to an inch tucked in. I really apologize for this mess, but we were having a hard time finding the stock wheel lock key, so we took out this back container. There's a little cover right here with just 2 tabs. And then all your tire tools are right over here, which I would assume includes the wheel lock key. This little hook right here. Take this bag out. I would assume it's in this bag. Yep, it's right there, I found it. Right over here. So let's get that out first. Simple, you just kind of pull. This is going to be a 22 millimeter, so I got my impact socket out. The lock is a 22, and so is the lug nuts. What we're going to do next is find the jacking point on this vehicle. So I'm going to come under here. Frame is right here, so anywhere on the frame should be fine. I'm doing one corner at a time just to make it easier for myself. I do have my wheel chocks front and back on the back. Make sure you're on a level surface, and I put my handbrake up just as a precaution. So get my jack on there. And realistically speaking, I probably don't even need a jack stand, just because this is really quick. I'm not going on another car. I'm just quickly taking the wheels off. But it's always better to be safe than sorry. So I will lift this car up, grab a jack stand. Let's put it right next to the jack on the frame. Lower it on the jack stand slowly, and we're good to go. Now we're going to take them off in a star pattern, or skip one method. Take all 5 lug nuts off. I like doing the wheel lock, one of the first ones, so the pressure's not on there, so you don't risk stripping them out or anything like that.
Those are off. Take the wheel off.
Ooh. It's already kind of getting stuck. This car is brand new, not even 5,000 miles on it. But we'll talk about those stuff later. But now we're ready to put the wheel spacer on. How this works is these bolts that come with the wheel spacer, and a lot of people like using Loctite on them. I don't really like using Loctite, but what I do is I double torque them, which means I'll torque them, then I'll drive around for 100 miles, then I'll retorque them just to make sure they're on there solid. But these are gonna go on the factory lugs. So essentially, this is just a mock-up. I'll go like that. Now, my lug nuts aren't sticking out because it's a 1.5 inch spacer. If the spacer was smaller, I may either one have to cut the stud or two get shorter studs. But like I said, in this situation, we're good. These go over here, and then we're gonna torque them. Now, these didn't come with instructions, but all the research I've done online, they want these to go to 85 foot-pounds of torque. And I believe the stock ones are like 100 foot-pounds for these bigger type lug nuts. And everyone else knows that the factory Toyotas are 76 foot-pounds. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go 85 on this, 100 foot-pounds on this. Now here's a step a lot of people forget, and then these end up getting stuck all the time. This happens on all vehicles. So a little step I like to take is grab some anti-seize. Doesn't matter if you get the copper one or this silver stuff, and just put a light coat all over it, all over the little hub, ring. Don't get it on the lug nuts. The lug nuts should stay dry. You never want to put anything on the lug nuts itself, or the lug studs, I should say. But putting a light coat on there right now will save you a lot of trouble later on when you gotta do brakes or tires or etc. And then you can also add it to the spacer itself, so the wheel doesn't get stuck onto the spacer. I know it doesn't look the prettiest, but trust me on this, I've installed enough of these. These get stuck on and they become a major pain to take off in the long run. So I'm just gonna kind of put this stuff everywhere I feel like it might cause issues. Like I said, I'm not blobbing it on there, just putting some sort of a light coat. Then we could put this on. Now one thing I do notice, and by the way, these are 19, so I'm using a 19 on this. One thing I do notice right off the bat is a lot of people online, they said you have to cut the studs, but I feel like because I'm using an 1.5 inch spacer, I feel like the studs are actually too short. So that's kind of that's what's kind of seeming sketchy to me right now. You can see right here, it's the lug nut's not really going through all the way. Now, is it going to be an issue? I'm honestly gonna try it and find out, but I may go and get some studs that are a little bit longer if I want to keep these spacers on and do it the right way. And again, the torque spec is going to be 85 foot-pounds for these. So I got my digital torque wrench and my click type torque wrench. I'm using click type torque wrench. It may help having someone in the car holding the brakes down while doing this. So that's 85. We'll see what happens. You want to go in the car and pull the brake down? Yeah. So this is off camera just because my cameraman had to go and hold the brakes. But I went around at 85 foot-pounds 3 times just to make sure. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't feel as comfortable, so I went to 90. Whatever you're comfortable with, it doesn't really matter. Then I went around with the 90. All the lug nuts are on there. If you want to zoom in over here, you can see how much of the threads are caught up. So we're gonna try it out. Like I said, I wish it was kind of longer and we had a little bit more threads, but I think it should be okay. I don't really do anything aggressive. Now let's put the wheel back on. Again, the wheel torque is supposed to be 97 foot-pounds. I'm just gonna go to 100. Now you may be wondering why I'm using an impact. My impact on the 2 setting goes to about 60 foot-pounds of torque. So you're never supposed to just go full send, but because I know that, I've done this a bunch of times, I'm gonna set these at 60 foot-pounds of torque before going full send. I am gonna use a skip one method, so I'm gonna start here, skip one, go there, skip one, go there, go there, go there. Some people call it the start method. So I'm gonna go at it like this. Now I could bring the car down until the wheel touches the ground, and then I could use my torque wrench. All right, as you can tell, the wheel, I don't have the jack all the way off the car, but the wheel is touching the ground. Just makes it easier for you to torque it down. Let's get my socket on there. I'm good at 100 foot-pounds. Over here. Just bring the car down all the way. And voila, the installation is done. And oh my God, everything with rubber. I think it looks much better. I personally think it looks much better. It makes the tires just look bigger. Yeah, that looks much better in my opinion. Now you have that little bit of a poke out. It makes the car look a lot more aggressive. Even though the wheels aren't the widest, it just, from the outside look, oh my God, yeah. Compared to this, holy crap. I'm not expecting it to make that much of a difference. I'm actually really, really liking it. Let's go ahead, I'm gonna do the back side and then we're gonna compare spacer side to non-spacer side. So I'm gonna do all this off camera and I'll be right back. This is the end result. I honestly think it looks much better. It looks super aggressive and now it looks like a proper off-road machine. Even though the tires obviously are the same size, they're still a little thin, but you can see now the tire's actually sticking out past the fender. I see about a good inch, so maybe front too. Definitely sticking out past the fender now. Zoom out. Gives it that more aggressive look. So yeah, it kind of looks like this little wannabe, kind of. But the car is brand new. I don't feel like dropping money on some tires and just a mod like that to give it that more aggressive look, the TRD Pro look. I personally think it's worth it. Again, this is this side, super tucked in. And then this side. This is our final product. I definitely think it's worth doing the mod. The tires again still look kind of skinny, but they don't look tucked in anymore. And from the side, it just looks how it's supposed to look in my opinion. I am gonna eventually get bigger tires on this and do a lift on it probably once my warranty expires. I just don't care enough right now. I don't really do anything too crazy with the car, but spacers, I would say, are a success. Again, you got the poke out now. It's flush with the fenders. So all you can really ask for. And it doesn't look like it skipped leg day when you're driving behind it now. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. What do you think of this? Do you think it's worth it? Do you think it's safe? I may try 1-inch spacers. If I do, come check out that video. That'll just be a quick short video showing how 1-inch spacers look, but I think the 1.5s are good overall because it's that how it should look from the factory type feel to it for a TRD Pro. Thank you for watching, and then I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.